Hello and welcome. Because World of Warships is releasing in a few days, I decided to make a video about things that are still bugging me about the game, which probably won't be fixed, but I think should be fixed in a released game. I mean, the last few days I played Fractured Space because somebody reached out to me, and it's a pretty nice game. The game is still in alpha, but it had many of these things fixed. That game had mouse inverse. It also had Borderless Windowed mode, it played sound when in the background, all that stuff which you would expect in a game, for some reason in this game are missing. So today's video is just a list of some things which I found bothersome, and they still appear to not be fixed, even though they have been broken for forever essentially. The game doesn't have Borderless Windowed mode in 2015. It only has full screen mode or no full screen mode. Right now I have Borderless Windowed mode because I'm using a third-party tool to put it into Borderless Windowed mode. All it really does is make it big and takes away the title bar and puts it into the 0 corner. That's it, nothing else. But for some reason the game doesn't have it, which is a huge issue for people who stream or want to make videos, and that's really problematic. I mean, look at this, you can see the screen, and the worst part, and the second worst part, is that there is no sound while the game is in the background. Listen, you can hear the music, right? I'll alt-tab away, and you can't hear sound anymore. And this also includes the game sounds. Yes, I can understand people wouldn't want this to always be on, but maybe add it as an option or something like that, who knows? It might be just useful. The interface in the game is slow. Look at what happens if you click too fast. It suddenly selected the carrier instead of the plane. And that keeps happening. It's something that needs to be fixed for carrier play. And the interface also needs to respond faster. It can't take a whole second for a command to be issued. The performance of the game is rather odd. I don't think the performance is very good. Mainly in regards to video memory used. I think there are some things that just do not get cleaned out when a game ends and another one starts, because the longer you play, the more video memory you start using. And when you go into maps like North, apparently there are sometimes video memory leaks or something similar to that. I mean, I am using a GTX 780. I have 3 gigabytes of video memory, and I am literally hitting like almost 2900 megabytes used, which really is the limit because the rest is reserved by physics. So I think memory usage is a little bit out of control. Yes, I can turn down some settings, but all in all, the video memory usage is still pretty high. And for a released game, again, I think it should be fixed. Chat bugs are an interesting thing in this game. When I logged off, I knew that Banana Joe had sent me 2 messages. I didn't actually see what they were, but I decided, you know, it's a chat system, so I'll just press it again, right? Well, the box is empty. For some reason the messages disappeared, and I don't know what they were. Too bad, I guess. And these kinds of bugs happen all the time. I mean, look at it. When I open the friends list menu, right? Look at this. I can scroll, but nothing happens. And it took quite a few seconds for this thing to actually work. And when I try to search for someone, let's say Dark Leader, as he was online, where the hell is he? Search doesn't work properly. Now it appeared. Why did it take so long? And why are these buttons disappearing when I'm not hovering over it? It's just, these are all problems that I think a released game should definitely have fixed in the lobby. Replays aren't smooth. Look at this. Look when my camera moves around. Look at how horrible it looks. On top of that, you cannot actually see the mouse. I mean, you can see this mouse, but this is me currently controlling it at the time. I cannot see what the hell the carrier player is doing at this time in the replay. On top of that, there is no rewind in this replay possible. There are no real controls, like there should be some tiny interface maybe here that would say pause and all of that stuff. Then on top of that, at the end of replays, you don't actually have scorecards. You have to gather them separately. And you can't also see commands, and you don't see things like special skills used, or when I select a plane, that isn't shown at all. That is when I select them to focus fire. And that's just stuff which is really bad not to have in replays, and it needs to be added. I already talked about anti-aliasing, but it's still an issue. I mean, the ship still looks bad, but since I already made a video about it, here's a link about it. There is no option, not in here, here, or here, to actually enable replays. Why is that? It's such an easy thing to do. Yes, I understand the replays don't work quite right, but if you're releasing the game, you would probably want to add them. There are mouse options, sensitivity here, which is nice, of course, but where are the inverse options? You know, some people like it when they move their mouse up that the mouse goes down, and the opposite. These are absolutely necessary for some people to actually even play the game. Where are they? On this menu, especially this one, why is the collision avoidance system so poor? Like, if you look at bots, often they run into islands and never start moving again because they get stuck, and from what I understand, they use this system. And that's just ridiculous. On top of that, why can I not turn off collision avoidance system when I move on the map? If I set this to off, I would like it to be off in the map view as well. Speaking of turning things off, I would like to be able to turn aim assist off as well. While I understand that it's really useful to have, I would like it not to be the case. Yes, I can understand that I can not select a target or something like that, but from what I understand, then the dispersion for the shot is much higher, which means that it's not really a good solution. Where are the armor values? In the port screen, I can see hit points and survivability. I mean, we can see it on the Murmansk as well, but there's obviously other things as well to look at. I mean, if we look at the Arkansas beta, this thing has 43,800 HP, survivability 51. Cleveland has 35,200, survivability 45. So you would think that the Arkansas beta and the Cleveland would be similar in durability, right? Well, that's not true. Cleveland does not citadel an Arkansas beta, but an Arkansas beta does citadel a Cleveland, because the Arkansas beta is much more armored, and the layout is much different. I mean, the Cleveland has small citadels, the Murmansk has much bigger citadels, and is easy to citadel even by destroyers. Yet destroyers don't really citadel Clevelands, and they definitely do not citadel Arkansas betas, which means that this survivability number only seems to take account this HP, which just doesn't make sense. I mean, if you would want a number on survivability, you would even look at things like the length of the ship, because it's much easier to hit the ship that is long. So anyways, I think that the game is not ready for release. Some of these things I would expect to be fixed in a released game. Like, I do not want to see the chat bugs in a released game. I mean, they just don't fit in. They shouldn't be part of a released game if you actually cared about making the best possible product. But there's nothing we can do about it, so if you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching.